All right, we just came up with the name of it. I mean, the hackathon ended less than like 24 hours ago, but we decided to call it Everett. Hugh Everett, one of the main physicists that first proposed one of the multiverse theorems. So multiverse, multi-cosmos. Yeah, you kind of get the idea of it. So. All right. Since it's a Cosmos hackathon, we decided to implement it on Cosmos, and our product on the hackathon, it's called bATOMs. So in order to introduce that, it's basically a proposal to eliminate DApp ecosystem bottlenecks. Yeah, so it's just currently we found out that unfortunately, DeFi and staking doesn't go that together right now. So there has to be some kind of some product in the middle that helps solve that kind of problem. So before I talk about the problem, let me first give you a brief introduction about Austrian business cycle theory. It's a theory in Austrian economics. So the basic concept is that if there is a central interest rate in the economy, that will eventually distort the market. So for example, let's say for the US, if the FRB says this year's interest rates are like 4%, then this essentially means that investment products in the economy that offer less than a 4% yearly ROI, they're not worth investing into, because if you don't invest in those products, but instead just put your money in a bank, the bank will give out more cash than that product will give you. And there's always this kind of trade-off. You can only put your money in a bank or invest in an investment product by itself. You cannot do both at once. This actually applies very well to Cosmos, and not just Cosmos, but pretty much every POS blockchain platforms. So an example could be like post-Casper Ethereum or Iris, Qtum, just name it. And we came up with a theory as well. We theorized that this central hub staking interest rate, I know I shouldn't be calling it interest, but for the sake of simplicity, I decided to do that, will distort the network ecosystem. So currently on Cosmos, if you stake your atoms to a validator, you'll get around like 10% ROI per year. And this also means that, let's say there's like Uniswap on Cosmos, like DeFi products on Cosmos that offer rewards when you stake your money or atoms into those products. If those products offer less than 10% of ROI, it essentially means that you're worth better off putting your atoms in just staking them on the hub instead of just putting your money in those kind of products. And there's always these trade-off as well. You can only put your atoms in your central hub and stake them, or you could put your money on like DeFi products like Uniswap on Cosmos. You cannot do both at once. So we thought this was one of the critical problems of POS blockchains right now. And let me just give you an example. Currently, Ethereum doesn't have like a central interest rate like Cosmos. And if you look at two DeFi protocols, Compound and Dharma, they're like lending DeFi protocols. You can see for Compound, they offer a 0.01% per year for Ether providers. But even though that's like pretty much negligible compared to like Cosmos's 10% ROI, there's like nearly $60 million worth of Ether right now. And though that $60 million will eventually lead to the development and the development of the ecosystem on Cosmos, especially DeFi. But since Cosmos has a central interest rate, this is not feasible. Well, at least we thought it's not going to be feasible on Cosmos. So there's another problem. Eventually Cosmos is aiming to become the interchain protocol of blockchains, and Ethereum is going to be one of them. Well, Ethermint and stuff are going to come out, And Ethereum is also aiming to move on to Ethereum 2.0, that includes Casper as well. And Ethereum with Casper would provide staking rewards to people who stake Ethereum. And right now, if you do the calculations, it's going to be around like 2 or 3% per year. And if you move your Ethereum to Cosmos, then you're basically losing out on those 2 or 3%. So, and there's this trade-off here as well. You can stake Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain, or you can move it to Cosmos and use it there. You cannot do both at once. So right now, if things happen as if things are going right now, there will be a reduced incentive for ETH holders to move their ETH to Cosmos and develop the ecosystem there. Oh. So during the hackathon, we came out with this idea called bATOMs. The idea was quite simple. Instead of having a trade-off, what if we could do both at once? What if we could have the hub interest rate and the DeFi interest rate as well? So the basic concept will be like that, having 10% and like n%. Previously, like you had to pick one of them. Instead of doing that, you could have both, like 10 plus n%. Well, this was our basic idea. So we had a few things to consider before that. First of all, usability is the most important part. So we want to have maximal usability, and being fungible among all validators, like receiving the same kind of token, no matter which validator you vote for. That was one of our top priorities. So we had to keep that in mind. And also black swan events could happen. The price of tokens we created, bATOMs, could go down or up. And those kind of market conditions should be able to be tolerated. And also slashing and redelegations had to be in consideration. So in order to accommodate for slashing, we decided to keep 10% of bonded atoms as collateral. And redelegation was quite simple. We could just follow the redelegation rules of the Cosmos Hub. So to recap, bATOMs are generated by bonding atoms to a validator. And 10% of the bonded atoms will be kept as collateral in case of slashing. And bATOMs will be fungible no matter which validator you vote for. And it will have a one-to-one price peg by design with atoms. So you can think of you can imagine it being similar to CDPs in system architecture. So whenever let's say you delegate 100 atoms to a validator and submit that proof to the bATOM zone, then excluding the 10% collateral, the zone would issue 90 bATOMs, which is fungible. And you could like do whatever you want. You could sell the bATOMs. You could invest your bATOMs into a DeFi product on Cosmos. So yeah, that's the basic concept of it. And in order to recover your atoms from your bATOMs, you have to have the number of bATOMs you initially generated, and the position you created can be only closed by yourself. So utilization, use cases basically. So first of all, you can create liquid bonding positions, and as I've said before, we think this will catalyze investments and developments in the Cosmos ecosystem. And secondly, the second and third are more for like users. So you can hedge against volatility. So let's say the price of atoms are going down right now. Previously, if you wanted to hedge against price, you have to unbond your atoms and wait 21 days, and then you are able to sell your atoms. But if you have a liquid bonding position, there's no need for that. You can sell your atoms immediately without unbonding. And there's leverage delegation as well. So you can first bond your atoms and then create bATOMs. You can sell those bATOMs in the open market and buy more atoms. And then you can also delegate that. So it's kind of similar to using MakerDAO to leverage on Ether. And this might sound bad for the entire hub, but it's actually good because it increases the total number of atoms staked in the Cosmos hub. And an attacker has to gain more atoms in order to perform an attack. So it increases the security of it. System architecture, I know most of you guys won't be interested in that. And a live demo, should we be doing it? Oh, we're already doing it, okay. So we'll be briefly showing you the bonding generation of bATOMs, the transfer of bATOMs, and we also created a pseudo Uniswap on Cosmos. We just call it Doge Swap. And we'll also have a look at the unbonding and burning of bATOMs. So, yeah. So this is the, yeah, if you were at the hackathon, you would have seen the exact same thing, but basically this part, that's the Cosmos hub we're operating locally. This is the Cosmos zone we're operating locally, and these are the relayers. The bottom two are relayers. They facilitate the communication between these two networks, and this is like the central control. So, yeah, we're currently, oh yeah, so as you can see, initially there were only atoms. Now there's like bATOMs created as well. So this is like the bonding and generation process of it. And we'll be testing out the transfer. Yeah, this you can use the transfer here. Yeah, let's first start with Doge swap. I just want to do a quick shout out to Chonghan over there, the person with the green tea there. He did all of these development during the 3 days. Yeah, he slept like 9 hours per day. So he's incredible. Yeah, we just swapped. Oh yeah. So a lot of things happened, but initially we sold bATOMs to atoms, and then we resold our bATOMs to atoms right now. So yeah. Okay, can you come up for a second? Onboarding 된 거죠?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing you just saw was the unbonding process, and like initially there was like it's up there. Oh, it's here. So there were less atoms than before. Before there was like these much atoms, but after unbonding there's like this much atoms. The number of atoms has increased. This is the reward that you can claim during your staking position is open. The numbers are a bit off because we increased the inflation rate of the Cosmos Hub because like if we didn't, you would just see a slight change. Yeah, so yeah, this is what we did at the hackathon, and we currently have a bit of plans to extend to other POS blockchains as well. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.